Good morning, and welcome to this edition of Joe on the Job Site. Today, my guest is Brandon Scholler. He is a sales manager for CCAN, and today we're going to talk about his story on how he made his way up through life to where he's at, some of his particular interests that he has that mean a lot to him. Brandon, welcome.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me. I grew up watching you on TV in the 80s. Magnum PI was one of my favorite shows. So thank you for bringing me on, and appreciate to finally meet you.
Thank you. So what'd you do? How'd you get started in life with what you're doing now? Because from talking to you before, I know you went to college.
Yeah, went to college at Weber College, went there on a soccer scholarship. When I left college, worked retail, went into working for Florida Citrus Sports when the Atlanta Olympics hosted in 1996. Orlando had 9 first-round soccer games. And so I was kind of an intern for those Olympic Games here in Orlando, and both gold medal winners came out of Orlando. The Nigerian men and the USA women both came out of here.
Wow.
So I got my start with that, and then after that, went into outside sales.
What were you doing in outside sales?
Outside sales, I was in the cigar world.
So like the Stogie cigar.
The Stogie cigars. So yeah, Swisher Sweets. Everybody's familiar with those.
Oh, I remember those.
Yeah. So
my dad smoked cigars when I was a kid.
Yes. So these were the cheap ones, but I did a lot with that with the cigar industry.
So in the cigar industry, when you said you were in sales, did you just go door to door? Or?
No, I had a territory. I was the sales manager over 5 or 6 people throughout the whole Central Florida, and we were calling on retail stations and changing out their setups and doing that.
So I got asked a question to understand that selling cigars. It's kind of like the guy here before that was selling sneakers. You get the cigars, then you took them. Did you go put them in display, or how did you get them into product to place? Because when I'd go to the store going to work in the mornings, I always got me coffee and a donut, and you could see the Swisher Sweets and all the cigars on the display back there.
Right. So we were the ones setting those displays up.
Okay.
So we would set those up, but we're selling cases at a time and to vendors and everything like that. But we would go into stores and then make sure our product looked good and the product was fresh, and swap out, maybe old items and that.
What'd you do with the old ones?
We would turn them back in. We get credit for them at the places we purchase them from. So yeah.
So did they resell them somewhere else at a discount?
No, they just discard them. But
okay.
The stores, we would make sure that the product inside was fresh. So
keep it up.
But yeah,
if you got a stale cigar, I sure wouldn't go back to that store and buy some more.
Exactly. So we would swap those out.
Yeah. Where'd you go to after selling cigars?
After selling the cigars, so it was I actually had my own construction business I started. It was called Custom Foam Elements. This is from like 2005 to 2008. And it was me and a business partner, and we did all that architectural foam on the outside of homes, all the crowns,
the arches,
absolutely.
And the bands.
We did all
stuff.
that. We had the CNC machine. We were cutting foam up and then hard coating it with a spray urethane hard coat. And then it's applied to the outside of the buildings.
So what did you cut the foam with? Because I've seen it in a radius like this, and then it was all sculptured.
Correct. So we have special hot wire machines that just carves right through the foam. And then it's just foam, but then once you spray it with that hard coat, it's rock solid, and it basically just glues to the outside of a home or a business.
So do you spray all of it, or just the exposed side?
Just the exposed side.
Okay, because the back side is for the adhesive to hold on to. So your sales, were you selling primarily to homeowners or builders?
It was both. Anybody that needed. And during that era, the housing market was hot. Everything was building. Everybody wanted that nice, gingerbread coatings out on the outside. So yeah, we were doing well.
Years ago, I used to make them out of wood. And the time it took to make them was phenomenal. And you got to remember, you put wood out in the sun, whenever the sun hits it, no matter what you put on it, how you put it in, or what glue you use, something's going to split or check or have a problem. And then the foam came in and the wood went out the door.
Right.
And I used to put up 12, 14-inch crown moldings in these huge homes where they had porticos and all kinds of patios in the back that were 12-foot ceilings and stuff. And we started putting them up out of foam.
Mm-hmm.
And I loved it because
It's lightweight,
Oh,
easy to apply,
oh yeah.
lasts forever. So
And
yeah.
we actually, I had a thing called a sawbuck that could cut 14-inch crown molding
Mhm.
and miter it for corners. And once you figured out the angles, you put it together. But that was sweet. Usually you get a 12-foot stick, two guys had to hold it up and you put it in, and you'd have to back cut it with the saw.
Mhm.
Now, when you put the foam in, you just trim a little off and poof,
Yep.
it goes
Right
tight.
on there. It's
And
awesome.
it doesn't swell, it open up or anything.
Correct.
Well, what made you leave the business?
So that's when the housing market hit. Everything slowed down. So I got out of that and then ended up finding a position within a mobile fueling company. And that's what I did for 15 years, was selling fueling options for companies that needed mobile fueling on site.
So what entails mobile fueling? I think when you say mobile fueling, the guy's got about 5 pieces of yellow iron on a job site and he wants them filled up.
Yeah, so we did both. We would either go to like a FedEx and go truck to truck where our drivers were filling each truck, or we're going to a job site and filling their one, 500-gallon tank. And a lot of it had to do with, pricing as far as how often we were going to the job site, how many gallons were they taking. So it was just making it convenient for customers. And that's what we did, is basically.
Did you sell off-road diesel as well as?
Yep.
So your trucks had to carry quite a bit.
Correct. They're different compartmentalized tank wagons. And so, yeah, off-road, on-road, 87, so all the products.
So we had a hazmat training course one time, and they talked about when a fuel dumps into a tank, we had to ground it. Is it something that was back then?
Well, basically, as long as the tank was double walled, that was the big thing for job sites. They had to be a double wall tank. So in case of leakage, it could, capture that.
Yeah, I like the fueling part. For one of the theme parks, I built a fueling station for their buses. And we had these electronic gizmos that went in the bus.
Mm-hmm.
When that bus pulled in, when you put the handle in to fill it up, it knew how many gallons it took. And then if you put oil in it or anything else, it was registered and tracked. And then you could go into their main room and you could see what each bus took. And then it had their fuel tanks, and it showed you a little cutaway elevation of the fuel in the tank.
That's awesome.
It was a step of the art in the future.
Yes.
Because before that, they had someone like you come out. They parked, 70, 80 buses all in this one area, and the truck drove by and was filling them up at night.
Yep.
I remember seeing that.
Yeah, it's crazy. So that's a whole nother world. People wouldn't even know what was going on, in the middle of the night, filling trucks up. And the idea was so that these drivers would not have to stop at gas stations. You would never see a FedEx truck or a UPS truck at a fueling station. It's all done.
That's right, because there's a lot of those services, FedEx, UPS, all those companies. Those drivers don't stop for fuel. I've talked to a few of them. They get in the truck, it's done and ready to go.
Correct.
If there's a problem, they have to turn it in when they get back in the evening, or if it stops them, whatever.
Correct.
But they get in the morning and they're ready to go. They don't do
they're
anything
paid to
but
deliver packages. Not
they do, as he calls it. We do our safety check.
Right.
Got to do a walk around safety check.
Yeah.
So for the fueling, what made you change from fueling?
Just was in it for so long, was looking for something different. And C-Can came along. So it was kind of intriguing, where it was a family-owned, kind of a new company here in Orlando. Found out that the company had been in the business for 20, 30 years doing containers in another state. But our owner, Garrett, wanted to start a company in Orlando. It was a hot market coming. So he and I talked, and he's just a great guy. And the business has been here in Orlando for about 5 years now, and it's really grown. So C-Can, those are the metal containers, kind of like what we see here in this display. Yeah, the Connex boxes, some people call them. They call them C-Cans, shipping containers.
When I was overseas, I watched a whole lot of people. I was in Trinidad, actually. They would take these containers, stack them up like this, turn 2 more like this, put 1 or 2 like this, and then they'd have a third one on the top. and they welded them together and they turned them into houses.
Yeah.
They lived in them. So I asked one of the locals, I said, what's the advantage of that? And they didn't get hurricanes, but they had a lot of strong weather and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I was actually in a tornado. I was on top of a building and 2 water spouts hit together, came right at the building. I was on the 19th floor. I still think there's finger marks left in the deck from holding on. And when it went by, I went to the other side of the building to look at those containers.
They didn't move.
Didn't bother them.
No.
They were there, baby.
No, they're amazingly strong.
So what else now, storage and stuff, what else do you guys do with them?
We build offices out of them. So we have everything from 20-foot open offices to 40-foot to splits where you got 50, half and half of an office and storage. And then people do build homes out of them. So you can do all kinds of neat things with them. We do all types of modifications. We currently just finished up a job that's going to be used for America 250, the big celebration up in DC. So we had a customer that wanted 4 40-foot long containers with 4 roll-up doors. They're going to use them to apply plexiglass and throw about $1 million worth of gear in each one. And the projectors will be inside our containers displaying up onto the monuments in DC for the big celebration.
So
this summer.
they'll have a hole or a cutaway where they can shoot out.
Right out. And they've got 4 of those that we built for a customer. So we're excited to see what that ends up looking like.
So how do you move those things around?
Yeah, so we've got big trucks with a tilt bed trailer. That's the key, to be able to scoop those up and then drop them back on the ground the same way. So we use that.
Now, how old would you say the oldest one you have is?
Oh, on our lot, we've got everything from used to new. So our used ones could be close to 20 years old. They've been...
How do you keep them from leaking?
Well, when we get them, we determine if they're wind or watertight, cargo worthy. We kind of grade them. So we have B grades, A grades, all the way up to 1 trippers, which are your new containers. So we grade them. If they're if they're leaking, we'll let you know. Just depending on what customers want. So
if you're storing a bunch of tools on a job site, probably not a big thing. But if you're storing office equipment in there,
yeah, pretty much everything we've got are wind watertight. They're sealed. It's just a matter of the rust.
Most of these are rented here. Do any of them ever get on a container and get shipped overseas and filled up and brought back?
So they can do that, but we would sell. We wouldn't rent any containers that are going to go overseas. So if you're putting it overseas, you just buy it from us and then you can send it wherever you want to.
So do you guys have these things fabricated?
So they're all built in China. They load them up with gear. They bring them across the ocean one time. They're called a 1 tripper, and then we purchase them at that point. So
okay, that's what you meant by 1 trippers.
Yep.
But overall, if these were shipping containers, they wouldn't be 1 trippers. They might make 5 or 6 trips across the...
Correct. Yeah, we've got everything from slightly used to very used, where they could have taken 100 trips. But when we rent our containers out to job sites, they're only our new containers, so they look good on job sites.
Okay, so a 40-footer, what does one weigh empty?
About 9,100 pounds for a 40-foot empty. So we're talking about hurricanes. They're not going anywhere. You load that thing up,
We actually had a job site where we had about 12 of them side by side, and all the doors were on one end, so everybody could get in and out, and we had an access way through there. And we had the 2 hurricanes come through that one year. And I'll never forget, somebody asked me, when are you going to tie those down? I said, I'm not.
Yeah.
I knew they weighed about 8,000 pounds, but they had probably another 10,000 pounds in them.
Yeah.
And in my opinion was, if you rolled them things down the sidewalk or across the job site, you weren't going to be worried about anything else.
Exactly.
That was pretty tough.
Exactly. Yeah. They're not going anywhere.
So the steel that they're made out of, is it a special?
Yeah, it's a Corten steel. Yep. So that's what they use to make them, and it's just a strong metal. But yeah.
Wow.
And we've got all types of different containers too. So everybody's familiar with the swinging double doors at one end. We've got where the doors are on the sides, or doors at both ends, like a tunnel. So we've got all different types of containers that we have on site.
Now, if somebody wanted to rent them, Of course, I see your business cards here. They could just look up CCAN on the internet and
Correct. Yeah. CCANFL, short for
yep.
Florida.com. And we're right there. You can call us. And what kind of makes us different than some of the other companies is that when you call us, we're answering the phone. I'm answering the phone, and you're getting great customer service. So, yeah.
That's pretty good. I mean, the containers are much better than we used to use the semis, the old used backs of the semis that were like 4.5 feet off the ground.
Mm-hmm.
You had to build a OSHA acceptable deck and handrails and stairs and everything. And now with the containers, I rented many of them, and I don't know if they were sea cans, but they were the container style. I rented many of them because I could just drive the golf cart at the end of the
Yeah.
day in there, and we kept them full of material.
Nice.
And one of the things we liked about them was, so we'd get an order of material. One of the things you do on a project is, if you're ordering material, say you've got air handlers, some in your air conditioner units or your VAVs, something like that, and you put them on an order, the last thing you want to do is say, well, hold them for 2 weeks. We're not ready for them. No. Rent a container, make sure it's watertight, stuff them full, and if you have more, you get another container, and you just keep filling them
going.
up, because you can rent them by the month from what I've seen.
Correct.
And then when they're empty, you tell them they come get them. You don't have to be out there to meet them or nothing. They back right up,
Nice.
take off, and off they go.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you could say an advantage about the container systems that you guys use, what would you say would be an advantage for someone?
Just the security of them, very lockable, robust. Weather, hurricanes here in Florida, you don't have to worry about it. Everything's going to stay dry and it's not going anywhere. On security purposes, you can lock them up real well.
So when you get your containers back, they're supposed to be cleaned out, right?
Supposedly. And we've had, our customers are great. We really rarely get containers back that are, left with trash or anything like that. So
you ever find anything the customer left?
There have been where we've gotten calls to, okay, we're done with this container. You can come pick up unit, whatever. We pick up, we bring it back, we open the doors and all their stuff's still in it. So that has happened. So
I could see that. I've had guys not look in their container, or I've had them give the wrong container number. And one of them was loaded with air handler units.
Yeah.
The guy, of course, that truck picks up about any kind of weight, and they picked it up and took it off. And the guy walked out across the site, went to the container, opened it, and realized he put him the wrong one, and it was going down the road.
Yeah.
About an hour and a half later, it come back. I don't think the guy ever made it back to his shop, and they got him turned around.
Golly, good, not too far.
Yeah. So, what would you say is your best help or mentor for you growing with this company?
Garrett, our owner, has been great. We talk every week. He's just got a lot of experience in the industry and just knows how to follow up with customers, and really, we're flexible. We're family owned, so we're able to do special deals. He gives me free reign to really promote CCAN. So I do appreciate that.
Well, that's good, because where you work is half the battle. You enjoy going to work. You have a good time and you enjoy what you're doing. It makes work so much easier.
Absolutely.
Because you've mentioned you've had a couple other jobs here and there.
Mm-hmm.
If you could have, when you got out of high school, would you have started with CCAN first?
If they were around, I would have. If they were around. But yeah, it's definitely, but it took those other jobs to kind of realize a good job from maybe one that was a little bit more difficult. So yeah.
It's kind of fun. If you could share in your travels through your career here to date, what would be a story that really sticks with you?
I don't know if I have any good stories on the work side of things, but just being in outside sales, you never know what you're going to get each day. So I enjoy the traveling around and visiting with customers on whether it be a job site or in their offices. So just every day being different. I enjoy that aspect of working in the industry.
One of the things we in superintendent training in different areas we like to talk about is conflict resolution.
Mm-hmm.
And I've talked to you 3 or 4 times. I've seen you behind the mic. I've seen you in different aspects of your work just in the last few months. How do you handle when you walk on a job and that person's a stinker?
Mm. So I don't let it affect me too much. I kind of enjoy that. It's just if you can win them over, that's the best part. I mean, just try to help them out. What can you do to make it better for them if it's anywhere our fault or anything like that? But yeah.
Everybody always runs into those people that are challenging and a real
Mm-hmm.
pain to deal with. What would you tell a young person who walks into one of those people? What would you
Yeah.
say, hey, that you try this to help make it better?
Don't take it personally. So and so maybe having a bad day. Don't take it personally. Do what you can to do to help. Apologize if you need to, but whatever you can do to make it fix. And sometimes, ultimately, at the end of the day, if it's not a fit, it's not a fit. So
No,
do what you can.
nothing
Yeah.
hard.
Don't take it personally.
Nothing doing it.
Right.
So I see we have Orlando Health here.
Yeah, Orlando City Soccer is what that was. So I just brought that in just for an interesting story. So we have a professional soccer team here in Orlando. We were in the USL before we went to MLS.
The USL
USL,
is,
United Soccer League,
and MSL
is Major League Soccer.
Okay.
And USL is kind of the semi-pro team. So I had played soccer with a lot of those guys, not on the team, but just, after hours kind of thing. Anyway, their marketing manager had asked me to come in and do a photo shoot one afternoon. They ended up using the photo to promote the promotion of Orlando City Soccer going to the major leagues. And so this poster was handed out everywhere. It was on billboards and ended up hanging from every Orlando Health hospital in Orlando. So it was like a 15 seconds of fame kind of fun thing. But
that
soccer
is kind of, I
But
like
yeah.
that. Part of something major. Orlando Health, the official medical team.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
So it was a fun little campaign that they did. And so, yeah, it was great. Soccer's always been a part of my life. So I was kind of honored that I got to be a part of that.
You still play it today much?
I still play. Got a game tonight, and coach as well. And so fully involved with soccer and looking forward to the World Cup this summer as well.
So I like you said something that's near and dear to my heart is coach.
Mm.
Years ago when I was a young kid, I know yes, they had dirt back then. That's what my daughters ask. I played basketball. And I was 7th grade, somewhere in there, 7th grade, 8th grade. And what disillusioned to me about the sport, and I quit playing for quite a few years, was they made fun of you when you made a mistake. They talked down to you when you were playing. But the real thing was we had a coach. Now, when you're in the 7th and 8th grade, you're still learning. There was no coaching, no teaching.
Mm.
So I quit because I didn't know what the job of a forward was or a guard or a center. I played center a lot, and the only thing I knew was to get that ball from before somebody else did.
Yeah.
And the thing about it was, and you just said it, coaching. In your coaching, you're bringing up people that you don't really see and relate how that helps them in life other ways, just by listening to you and where you came from and your sales and stuff and the coaching.
Mm-hmm.
That is a lot when someone coaches. And it's the same thing in this industry, whether you're an electrician, a carpenter, or a plumber, someone has to teach you how to do it.
Correct.
And that's the key element. It's getting a little harder because a lot of the guys like me that are seniors are retiring out, and there's not that many behind to fill in. When you're coaching, what are some of your key points you like to drive home to
the teams,
to the team
yes.
and players?
With the kids, listening is a big component. So if they're good listeners, they're going to understand the game. And I just enjoy coaching those kids up so they can learn the game, so they know what these positions are responsible for doing and how to win as a team and support your teammates when something goes wrong. So yeah, it's good all around.
How do you get the team and on a project? You're a united team. One does well, they all do well, so on and so forth. You work together cohesively. How do you bring that into your, method of coaching do you kind of use to get those guys to or gals to understand your team, help one another out, learn to cover, learn to back? What do you do that to bring forward?
Yeah,
for
you
'em?
have to teach them it's a team effort. We win together, we lose together. It's a group effort. So don't blame that goal that it got past the goalie. It had to get through 8 to 9 other players before it got to you. So yeah, everybody, we're all in it together. So even the coach.
Yep.
Yeah, no blame.
If you were offering words of wisdom to a young kid coming up, what would you tell a young kid that says, I want to play soccer?
Oh, enjoy it. Enjoy the game. Listen to your coach, do what he says, and just have fun. Soccer is one of those few sports that you just get to do what you want. There's no, like a football where you have to run this particular route. It's free flowing. So you can really.
Well, in soccer, I have a cousin that he was into soccer quite well, went for a scholarship in school like you did, Ohio State. And he came back to Seneca Park in Kentucky, and he didn't have any place to play soccer. So his dad went and bought a bus and wrote MLM, Louisville Metropolitan Soccer League on the side, and got a bunch of kids together to play. That's how they played.
Jump in.
Oh, yeah. They had a blast.
That's great.
There's a lot of learning to it.
There is.
So something we're going to have to finish a little bit later today, but I'd like to start on it here right now is AI. I understand you use a lot of AI in some of the work that you do. And I'd like for us to dive into what it means to the people out there in the community, or a student or someone that's looking for a job, what it means to them. It's a two-way street on the subject, and it's a little bit challenging. But AI is something that's come about because of shortages of manpower and different things. It's also taken over some things that I'd like for it not to have taken over, but it is in our industry. No one's going to replace the plumber doing the work.
Right, the hands-on.
No one's going to replace the soccer player. No one's going to replace the coach. So how do you use it in your industry? We got about a minute left or so.
Okay, so just a little teaser. I have used it to make LinkedIn fun again. So with LinkedIn, I found it to be very boring. Nobody really cares about your promotion, but have you wrestled an alligator on your job site? That's what people want to see.
Yeah.
So I've had it for fun to promote, attention to our company. So that's what I've used it for.
I've actually walked the alligator. I have a picture of me with one on a rope.
There you go.
He was similar to what you said. He was up in the breezeway, cornered in a building. And I took my jacket off. This guy had a clip slide lock on a rope. I put it around him, grabbed my jacket and ran. We pulled it out. He walked down the road. The guys took the picture of me walking him. And as soon as he smelled the water, he took off. Nice. And then I realized, how am I getting the rope?
Yeah.
Well, he went down the bank. As soon as he hit the bottom, he hit the water, his leg slid back, and he went right out of the rope. I rolled that thing up like I knew what I was doing.
It's planned the whole time.
So it's been great. We'd like to have some more discussion on this AI. I'd like to get into some depth of that and some other things that are important to you. So if you don't mind, can we take a short break, and we'll come back and have our AI discussion.
That sounds good.
Might get a little opinionated, but I got a few of those.
Okay.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
This is Joe on the job site with this edition. Thank you.